Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of the StreamYard Spotlight Show. I am your co-host, Dana Bentz.
And I'm co-host Kelsey Bentz. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Another day, another StreamYard Spotlight. And for those of you who aren't familiar or who it's your first time to our show, welcome. We do these streams every single Thursday night. And we called it the StreamYard Spotlight because that's what we're actually doing. We're actually spotlighting a different member of our streaming community each week, every Thursday night. And so it gives us, a little bit of a deep dive, a better sense of what people are using StreamYard for. So we feature people, doing all kinds of things, using StreamYard for conferences, events, webinars, live stream shows like normal. And tonight we're going to talk about how you can use StreamYard for podcasting. So very, very excited to learn more about that. So our guest tonight is Charlotte, but before we bring her on, we're doing a giveaway at the end of the show. So throughout the show, if you want to just type #puddles throughout the show in the comment section, you'll be entered and we'll be doing the giveaway at the end. But in the meantime, Charlotte, welcome to our show.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're happy you're here. We have a lot to learn from you. So
I'm a big fan of yours too. So.
Oh, thanks. Right back at you. Yeah. So for our audience members who don't know you and who you are and what your show is about, can you tell us more about that?
Yes. Well, I'm originally a book publisher and a magazine editor, but I've moved into podcasting. Actually, well, a little bit. I started doing live streaming in 2012 when Google Hangouts on Air was launched. And
you're one of the original Google Hangouts live streamers. Yes. I love it.
The OGs.
The OG, yes.
You can probably feel my pain because it was really, it wasn't completely dysfunctional, but it was a beta thing, and it wasn't, there were a lot of bobbles, a lot of people trying to figure it out and how to use it, how to monetize it. Yeah. So I did about 140 with a book project. We had kind of regular meetings on the Google Hangouts on Air, and we recorded them. They're on YouTube now.
Very cool.
Wow. So you have a lot of experience.
Yeah. Was that consistent, like since 2012, like till now? Or what was your live streaming? Like, what was the transition into StreamYard, I guess?
Right. That's a good story. The pedagogy, it's like pedagogy only with peers. So people that your peers, learning together. So that's the project. We have a book, and so we did regular meetings and we kind of explored aspects of that discipline. And so we did, and then we would kind of go off and, maybe a few months we wouldn't do them, or we'd do one a month instead of one a week. And but we kept that up pretty much. We're now doing Zoom. But in the fall of 2018, I'm a rower, as you can see from the picture behind me. I'm not actually out on the water, but a producer came to me, a podcast distributor for rowing podcasts, and she said, I want to do one about the United States rowing. She's a New Zealander, so rowing.chat is her distribution site. And so I said, yeah, well, that sounds like fun. I'm obsessed with rowing, and I think to do this you really have to be passionate about the topic. It's just not going to work otherwise.
Absolutely.
So, especially if you can't figure out the monetization right away. But
right.
So we started out actually on Google Hangouts on Air. No, YouTube Live, I guess they were calling it by then.
Okay.
December 2018. And so I went for a few episodes on that model. And then I was on a session with Michael Daniels, who you may know.
We do.
Who is actually in the chat here. We have Mike.
Oh my God, Michael's
He
there.
says,
Hi,
I've known
Michael.
Charlotte for a long
I love you,
time.
Michael. You have changed my life.
Oh,
That is so
So I
sweet.
hired him for like a consult about OBS. I was going to learn OBS, and that was like a non-starter because I'm just not. I'm techie, but not that techie.
Yeah, it's next level.
It's a whole other level. Yeah,
It is.
next level of tech.
Yeah.
Some programmer decided they're going to create something wonderful, and they did. But so Michael said, I heard about this thing called StreamYard, and you might want to try it. It's kind of like it packages up a lot of the stuff, and you can just get your content out. You can get your message out, and you don't have to worry about learning what gigahertz you're running at or something.
Yeah.
Seriously. So Michael is one of the people I admire a lot in tech, and we met in the Google Plus days and the Google Hangouts on Air days.
Yeah, he came to
StreamYard. One of the
StreamYard
OGs too.
Yeah, he's been streaming, for years. He was a guest on our Spotlight show before.
And he's the nicest person. He's like
we love
so
Michael.
generous. I mean, I paid him for like a half hour or something, and he just turned me on to this, and it solved a lot of my problems.
I'm so glad to hear that. I love NLTMW's little puddles emojis.
Yes, I know.
We're putting puddles in the chat because that is the name of our little logo up there in the corner, the Puddles Duck.
Puddles the Duck.
But so I'm curious if we can shift gears a bit. I want to hear about the podcast part. So you've been streaming for a long time, and then you came to StreamYard. But when did the podcast portion start? Has it always been a podcast? Did it just start at StreamYard? Where did that come into play?
It didn't just start at StreamYard, but let me just try to think how we stripped it out of. I think she did it. Yeah. I'd post them on the WordPress site, the YouTube link to the YouTube Live thing that we did. And then it got kind of automatically pulled out and distributed on, I think she uses SoundCloud. And then I've since taken over my own distribution, but I use transistor.fm. So I try and do it in advance. I put up a kind of a blog post. I put the YouTube link in, the watch link, so the future link. And then after the live stream, I download the little convenient download in StreamYard. And it just works like a charm. It just works every time. It just works.
So you do the live stream with the video part, and you send that to YouTube, and then you download the audio and you repurpose it and put it as a podcast. Is that right?
Transistor FM is I don't know, what are some of the other ones? I just pull the audio and I post it up there. And it distributes to Spotify, Google, Apple. You have to do a few little dances to get the RSS feed into some of the distribution. But it's pretty cool that way. And to be honest with you, I don't edit my audio as much as some podcasters do.
That's the beauty of, going live. You can put your intro video baked right into StreamYard, and that can just be the audio for the beginning of the podcast. And then you might have an outro video or, a sponsorship. You can roll all these things you would normally have to edit in. You can just put those right in. Right. In the podcast.
Yeah, we don't do too much, or we kind of try and be mindful when we're doing the live stream of the audio listeners. So you don't want to just talk about the visual that you're having on the screen. You want to say, if you'd like to see this visual and you're listening on audio, go to our show notes, and the show notes that are beautifully packaged in StreamYard as well. That it just goes everywhere. And I go to about some podcasts or live streams I do to 6-7 destinations. It depends on the topic. I have 3 different shows. So
that's a lot.
Yeah,
I've done 9.
repurposing your content to be on podcasts is an even bigger way to like reach your maximum audience, because I know a lot of people will listen to podcasts at times when they wouldn't watch something.
Yes.
Like for me, I'll put in a podcast when I'm on my walk or I'm exercising or doing something around the house, whereas I might not be watching a live stream doing those things.
Yeah, and you're driving in your car, you're not going to be watching the TV or your phone.
So you can like include all of those viewers or those listeners, right, by just repurposing your content like that. It's so cool.
So true. And Chris says editing audio is by far the most time-consuming aspect of podcasting. Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So a lot of that, you really want to be then prepared. You know, like I don't always do, and I follow my own advice, but if you prep your guests, get some questions like you guys did for me tonight, just kind of a general topic, and make sure everybody's tested their stuff, and so you don't have a lot of awkwardness on the audio. It's really helpful. So
there's a lot you can do with StreamYard, sort of like Dana was talking about before, to sort of pre-bake things, but part of that is like your own preparation, like just having a structure to like how you want things to go. Not necessarily a script, right? Like it's nice to, I know we were talking before the show, it's nice to like kind of just let things flow and not be overly prepared. But I do think there's something to having that structure for yourself so that you make it super easy then to just repurpose it, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to edit anything out. You don't have to go back and do anything.
Yeah. And, I've listened to a few podcasts that come from live streams, and they're not always perfect, and I just listen through it just like you would on a live stream, or like,
and it's very human.
Like CNN, when the pandemic hit, you did get all sorts of, things dropping off and coming back, and, you still do.
And dogs in the background, cats running through.
Kids,
everything. Yeah. So I'm really curious about this question. So IRC Adventure Talks asks, question for Charlotte, do you find it easier doing the audio podcast or the video podcast?
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just as easy as that. And I pull the audio. I don't really do it separately. I think, to me, having them both together is really important, because I like to connect with people visually, and that comes through in the audio. The authenticity, the kind of, it's just a kind of an unspoken, ambiance that you get with a guest.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So
can you tell us about the background you have and how you set it up, and what images you normally have on your show behind you in your background?
Right. Well, I could change them if I could think while I'm clicking, but that is a picture of me rowing in 5:30 in the morning. Well, actually 5:15, I think it was. I love getting out early on the Charles River in Boston.
That's real early. 5:15 is real.
I know it's brutal. It's really, but once you get out there, you just think this is the meaning of life, literally. And you got your friends out there and stuff, and so I started rowing about 2012, about the time I started live streaming, actually. But I've done 90. Yes, I am using. 2 years.
You already touched on this one, yeah.
I've been done about 90 podcasts with the Ready Row USA, it's called, and then I've started one for publishing, which is my actual business, and more about the process of publishing, and not the so helping writers get figure out the ropes of publishing independently.
Yeah.
And the other one is the Pedagogy in Action podcast, so about peer learning and peer production. And we've done about 10 of those so far. Well, plus all YouTube live ones we did.
Awesome.
Yeah. Wow. So cool. So cool that you have all these.
So can you show us some of your other backgrounds too? We'd love to see. So you have a green screen set up, is that right?
I do. I have a green screen. There it is in all its glory.
Cool.
This is my rowing club.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't have it quite lit quite right. Something's comes in. It depends on the type of image you have, I think.
Yeah, and the lighting I know has to be perfect.
Yeah, this is an evening one of the recreational sweeps boat I was
so cool. So for each theme of your show, do you change the background for that show?
Pretty much, yeah.
That is so cool.
I love that
like
library
if I'm doing
one.
the publishing podcast, I'll do the library or this one. I kind of like this one.
Oh, that one's so
That's
nice.
really cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
really?
And then the Pedagogy one. This is an
awesome
artist illustrator that we had do some work for one of the books, and that's the. I don't know. I don't like that one as much, but this is like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking visually? Yeah.
To answer Eva's question too, she said, "How did you set up your background?" So Eva, it's just a green fabric that is set up behind Charlotte. See that green? She just has it set up behind her, and then you can go into settings in StreamYard and actually upload an image that you can use.
That is so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's see. I'll lift
it looks so good when you lift it.
My room.
Yeah.
That's really so cool.
That's very awesome.
I try to get them to look as natural as possible. I mean, clearly I'm not out on the water, but just kind of like, so it's not too fakey.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice.
This is my church. I play this when I'm in the Zoom, the conferences. Yeah.
Cool. I think my favorite one's the bookshelf.
Yeah, I love that. The one, it looks like you're,
this
one. That's so cool.
It's
so like, 3D.
Yeah, why is it 3D? It looks really 3D.
It looks like there's
I just
so
searched,
much depth behind you.
stock photos for, library circle of books because I had seen it somewhere, or library background or something.
Cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah, you can find a lot of good stuff on, stock photos.
Yeah. Pete says it looks great.
Hey, Pete, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Pete. Pete was a guest on our Spotlight show too.
Pete is awesome. Cool. Yes.
How fun is that?
I learned so much from these shows and from the town halls. I mean, that's one reason I just love this company, because like Gage and Dan and all y'all are just so authentic, and it's not just like you're trying to sell us something. I mean, yes, but it's. You really go above the value,
That's so sweet. Oh, thank you so much. It's so it's just so refreshing to hear that, because I think some people say, like the StreamYard Pro plan might be unaffordable for some people, but for other people, they're like, I'm getting so much value out of this. Like, I've grown my client base from StreamYard so much more than the $50 price tag or the $25 price tag. So it warms my heart to hear that you're hearing how authentic we actually are. Like, we try.
It really comes through, and I try not to deal with companies that don't behave that way. I just
us too.
Find the good ones, and I would come to you for a recommendation on some other plugin or something, but because I really believe it.
That's so sweet. We really also value I know some brands can be kind of like, they can get corporate, and then they kind of lose that what we call the human touch. Like, we feel like our live stream shows, like getting to interview our customers, like you, Charlotte, Gage and Dan, talking to the customers directly, asking like, what features do you want us to add next? Like, we take that so seriously as this is our, we're a human company.
Yeah. And I learned from you about my business, to apply that kind of thinking and practice in my business, bring people on, like publishers and authors that I want to, develop a relationship with, or, and everybody likes to be on tell their story. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about that connection.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Charlotte, we have come to the end of our episode, believe it or not. Thank you so much for being here and sharing all your tips and tricks and telling us about your show. It's been wonderful having you.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. I mean, you're welcome. And if anybody has more questions for me, I'm at piercepress.com. So, I have a contact information.
piercepress.com. And
Yes,
is that where we can also watch your future episodes? Where can we do that?
Yeah, I have. I actually put it up on the screen share, but it's piercepress.com/podcast. So I have a whole page.
Perfect. piercepress.com/podcasts. Okay, that's easy.
Yeah,
so we can get there from the piercepress.com.
Absolutely, yeah. So I put a blog post up before I do each show.
Smart. Oh, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Well, I hope everyone tunes in to your next episode, because I know Kelsey and I will be in the comments section, just saying hi.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that engagement. I'm still working on that. Sometimes I get a few people, sometimes I get a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes, but I think just having that community is just exciting, even if it's only a few people.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's fun.
It's
fun.
It is so fun. Well, thank you again, Charlotte, for being on our show. Take care.
Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
It has been. Take care.
Bye.
So fun. Well, I know we're out of time. We're actually over our time, but we're going to do our giveaway. So if you type #puddles in the chat, we'll be running this thing in about, let's call it 3 seconds. So type your #puddles in the comment section. Oh, that was such a fun show. I don't stream with a lot of people who use green screen backgrounds, so it's actually really cool to see how good it can look.
It really can, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good. Oh, and LTMW said, great stream tonight. Thank you so much. I thought it was too. Oh, so fun. Look at all these puddles. We're getting puddles on puddles on puddles.
I want to show puddles.
Oh, yeah, we should show puddles. Yeah, so what are we even giving away? Let's full screen this. Oh, how cute is that? How cute. Let's see its headphones. So cute. Okay, are we ready? I think we're ready. Drum roll. Woo! Oh, this thing is so fun. Drum roll. Who's going to win the plush duck? Paul! Oh my gosh. You know what Paul just said in the chat? I've already won one.
Oh my gosh.
I think he just said his plush duck's on the way. Okay, we're going to redraw real quick. Paul, we can send you a second one, but we're going to redraw again.
Or we'll send you something else, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. What else do we have? We
have a bunch of merch.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is so fun. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, Paul. That is too funny. What are the odds? What are the actual odds? Okay, I'm drawing again.
Draw one more time. Paul, we will send you something. We'll send you different merch you don't already have.
He gets 3 ducks. If it's Paul. Chris!
Congratulations.
Woohoo! Okay, Chris, you've won our giveaway of puddles. Kelsey's showing it off here. Congratulations, and thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into our show. People saying, congrats, Paul. Yes, congrats to Paul too, but also to Chris. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of StreamYard Spotlight. Kelsey and I have so much fun doing these shows together, interacting with our audience, getting to meet new StreamYard users. So thank you so much for being here, and we will be back with another episode next week.
See you then.